Alright, boom. No long intro. We diving straight in. Avatar 3, Fire and Ash is finally here. And the big question everybody asking is real simple. Is this actually worth watching in the cinema, or should you just wait for streaming? Because let's be honest, fam, this is a 3-hour commitment.
Oh my God.
You're not just buying a ticket. You buying snacks, you buying leg cramps, you buying a bathroom strategy. So let's talk about it. No cap. First things first, this movie is a visual cheat code. Let me get this out the way immediately. Avatar 3 in the cinema is bussin', like unfair levels of bussin'. James Cameron once again pulled up like, yeah, y'all still not doing CGI like me. And he's right, this movie looks disrespectfully good. I'm talking water, fire, ash, skin texture, lighting, background movement, everything alive, everything breathing. There were moments where I forgot I was watching CGI. Then I'd remember on the drive home like, wait, none of that was real? Not a single thing. That's crazy. This is the type of movie where you start staring at the background during action scenes. Not because you're bored, but because your brain like, why is there a whole ecosystem happening back there? James Cameron don't do lazy worlds. Pandora feels lived in. It's giving planet with rent due. So off rip, if your question is this a cinema movie visually? Yes. No debate, no cap. The Ash Navi are the most interesting thing in this movie. Now let's talk about what actually makes Avatar 3 feel new. The Fire Navi, also known as the Ash people, are hard. These are not your zen, spiritually balanced, let Aiwa guide us types. Nah, these Navi said, where was Aiwa when we were starving? Where was Aiwa when everything burned? So they walked away. That's fire storytelling, literally and figuratively. They're more feral, more aggressive, less harmony, more survival. You see it in how they fight. You see it in how they move. You see it in how they live. It's giving trauma with muscles. And the leader? Fam. I'ma be honest, she had the whole theater distracted. I'm not saying that's the only reason she's interesting, but I'm also not saying it. She's ruthless, but not stupid. Brutal, but strategic. She's not a cartoon villain. She's doing what she thinks keeps her people alive. That complexity, that's where Avatar 3 shines. But here's the problem. James Cameron is playing it safe. And this is where the conversation gets spicy. Avatar 3 is technically amazing, but creatively is giving comfort zone. James Cameron knows what works. Family, invaders, loss, revenge, big third act battle. And he runs it back, again. You've seen this emotional structure before. You've seen these story beats before. You've even seen certain moments before. And that's where the film starts to feel familiar. Not bad, just familiar. There are moments that should feel huge, jaw-drop moments. And instead you're like, yeah, that tracks. That's dangerous for a franchise built on spectacle. Spider, we need to talk. Spider is one of the most interesting characters conceptually, a human raised by Na'vi, loved by them, accepted by them, but always reminded he doesn't belong biologically. That mask, that separation, that was doing narrative work. Avatar 3 decides to remove that. He can breathe Pandora air now. He can connect spiritually. He can link like everyone else. And listen, I get it. It leads to emotional moments. There's one scene in particular that hit hard. I'm not gonna cap. But long term, it low-key erases what made Spider different. Before, Spider was proof that family isn't about biology. Now he's basically Na'vi light. It's not terrible. It's just less interesting. It's giving solution instead of struggle. Action? Yeah, it slays. Let's not downplay this. The action in Avatar 3 is crazy. Fire versus forest, ash versus water, creatures pulling up from nowhere. Every fight feels massive. Every clash feels intentional. But, small critique, someone from the Sully family getting captured again? Fam, at some point you gotta install security cameras. It works, but it's getting predictable. That said, the scale, the choreography, the tension absolutely slays. Music and emotion. The music is solid, it does its job, but it still lives in the shadow of the first Avatar. That original score, iconic. Fire and Ash borrows a lot, from Avatar 1, from Way of Water. It's good, it just doesn't elevate the way it should. There were moments that should have hit like an Empire Strikes Back level ending. Instead, it felt like, alright, see y'all in Avatar 4. Now here's where Avatar 3 starts feeling a little funny, because when you line it up next to the first two movies, the differences become loud. The original Avatar was groundbreaking, not just visually, but culturally. Nobody had seen world building on that level before. It changed cinema, it was risky, ambitious, and low-key rewired how blockbusters are made. The Way of Water didn't reinvent the wheel, but it deepened the world. New tribes, new environments, new emotional stakes. It expanded Pandora in a way that felt intentional. It was giving evolution. Avatar 3? This one feels more like a remix. The Ash Navi are interesting, don't get me wrong. They bring conflict, moral tension, and a darker tone. But structurally, the movie plays it safe. A lot of the emotional beats mirror earlier films. Family in danger, outsiders invading, a big third act clash where everything goes left. It works, but you've seen it. Compared to Avatar 1, this movie doesn't take the same creative risks. Compared to Way of Water, it doesn't expand the world as boldly. It deepens themes, but it doesn't push boundaries. And that's the real criticism. For a franchise known for changing the game, Avatar 3 feels more like it's protecting the formula instead of breaking it. James Cameron is still in his bag technically. Visually, nobody touching him. But narratively, it's giving comfort zone. The movie wants you to feel something, not question something. And that's fine, but it's also why Avatar 3 doesn't hit with the same cultural weight as its predecessors. It's not bad, it's not disappointing, it's just not revolutionary. And for Avatar, that's a noticeable shift. So, is it worth watching in the cinema? Let's keep it a buck. Yes, but with conditions. If you care about visual spectacle, immersion, sound design, world building, this movie in the cinema is an experience. Streaming will rob you of like 80 to 90% of the impact. But if you're looking for bold narrative risks, shocking turns, franchise shakeups, you might walk out feeling a little numb. Not mad, not disappointed, just full. Final verdict, no cap. Avatar 3 Fire and Ash is visually insane, technically flawless, emotionally solid, creatively safe. James Cameron is still him, but he's cooking the same meal with better seasoning. So yes, watch it in the cinema, because this is what theaters are for. Just don't expect it to reinvent the wheel. It's giving spectacle over surprise. If you've seen it, drop your thoughts below. Did it hit for you? Are you still locked in for Avatar 4 and 5? Or are you feeling the fatigue? Let's talk. Like, subscribe, spill the tea in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one.